All right, guys, welcome back again to another Loan for Cards podcast. I have a special guest. Like I always say, I do have a special guest. All my guests are special, but this guy, he's very special. If you don't recognize him, he's a very he's a famous person. Um, he was one of the main characters in Harry Potter. So please welcome him. His name is ProfAmezy.
I was Hagrid's half brother.
Yes. So obviously that's a joke. That's all I always say. He is a Twitch streamer, and the little backstory. I like to give everyone a backstory of how I met this guy or found him. Again, it's so weird. Like it always comes back to Grandfather Hermit, and that's what it seems like. I'm sort of like always going towards like people that I know from Grandfather Hermit's Twitch streaming and following people. So I see him in the chat room like since like beginning since I followed Grandfather Hermit, which is like about a year and a half ago or so. It's been a pretty long time. So then I found out that this guy he streamed too. So I was like, okay, let me check him out. So obviously, I told all my viewers that I don't really watch too many streamers, but I try to help the streamers that when the main people that I don't watch, I try to hang out. So I checked them out, and this guy, like, he plays Hunt Showdown. And he plays a lot of other variety games. And the thing that really caught me when I watched him, he smiles like nonstop. Like when he plays, like right now, you see how he's smiling right now. That's how he plays Hunt Showdown. Even though when he's getting killed or something's crappy's happening, he's always smiling. So I'm like, oh shit, this guy he's an intense situation. Hunt Showdown. If you guys don't know Hunt Showdown, check it out. And he's an intense fighting situation, but he's smiling. He's like, oh shit, I got people on me, but he's still smiling. He's still, killing stuff. So I checked him out, and I watch him. Every so on, I lurk his channel to help him out and watch him play. And I really didn't get to interact with him that much, but like recently, I did start to interact with him, and I was like, oh, this guy is actually, instead of just like a smiley guy, he's really funny. He's very very hilarious. Like he makes these subtle jokes and his comments. You're like, wow, did that come out from him? And it really blows me out of surprise. I'm holy shit, this guy has the same type of humor I do. So then that's why I wanted to get him on, and then other Twitch viewers was like, alone, like I know you're doing this podcast. Yeah, get ProfAmezy on because he's awesome. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. You know what? I agree. Like I wanted to get him on because I want to check him out. So welcome to the podcast again. This is a freestyle podcast. We like to talk about Twitch streamers, but more than the Twitch streaming side, we like to talk about your personal side too, to see what's behind the Twitch streaming of ProfAmezy. His name is Eric, by the way. If want to get a little bit more personable, so ProfAmezy. Like first of all, how'd you come up with that name?
ProfAmezy. Well, it was a compromise. So my name prior to streaming was Amezy Rock, which is a weird mythological name.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want people trying to pronounce that because it's impossible to pronounce unless you know it's already pronounced. So I changed it, I shortened it. People are already calling me Amezy. Grandfather at that time had shortened my name to Amezy.
Okay.
So I just took a Mezi and I took prof because I used to be in academia. I was a teacher's assistant and I was in a PhD program going for a professorship. And I decided to detour from that course in life, but I kind of kept the prof thing because that's something, I identify with that kind of side of me as a person, as an intellectual. So I just combined two elements that were already there.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So besides streaming, like what did you do before you started doing Twitch streaming?
So this time last year, as I said, I was a teacher's assistant in a PhD program.
Mm-hmm.
So that entailed grading, tutoring. I did run a couple of classes. I worked closely with several professors over that time and helped them with their research and stuff like that. And I also went to school full time at the time. In fact, about midway through my time in that program is when I started watching Twitch.
Okay.
and I decided to not continue down the academic route. Financial reasons, just there's not a lot of job security at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went into marketing. Um, and so I worked for the marketing company for about 7 months. And then I got gotten laid off because of their size. It was just a downturn for them. And then I picked up streaming around that same time. So I don't know. I mean, so essentially my skill set is in academia, marketing, and in administrative assistance.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What can I ask you? Like, where you're located? What part of
Yeah,
the
sure.
world?
It's a state, South Carolina, the
Okay,
United States.
okay,
Yep.
South Carolina. Okay, cool. So you say you started to watch Twitch. Like, what? How did you decide that you want to start doing Twitch streaming? Like, what inspired you? What made you think, hey, maybe I should start streaming? What gave you that that push?
um, the dank power of memes.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
no jokes. So all right. Let's see. Let's go back to it would have been October, not of last year, but the year before.
Okay, 2018.
Um, yep. Grandfather, I think around that time had just started streaming, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's about the time. Yep.
A couple of months prior to that, I had gotten into Hunt Showdown, and I went to Twitch because I find YouTube videos boring,
Yep. Okay.
and but I also had no idea how to play this damn game.
Hmm.
Um, and if somebody told me that I would even be watching Twitch, I would have told them they were stupid because the idea of just watching somebody else play a game just seemed ridiculous to me.
Hmm.
But I got hooked, and 3 months after that, I met Grandfather. Um, as he started to stream.
So wait, so how did you find grandfather? Just curious.
I think I was browsing. I think I was browsing for random new people to watch,
Okay.
and I entered into Grandfather's chat. And you mentioned Grandfather a lot yourself, and
Mhm.
it's reasonable that you do so. He's a very charismatic figure,
Yes.
and I think we do meet. I've met a lot of people through him, just because he's the kind of person who attracts certain personalities to him that are like-minded. And I went to his channel, and I knew within like the first 15 minutes of following him that I would want to watch him because he had quoted the Havamal, a Nordic poem, down in his little About Me Donate section. So I thought that was really cool.
Mhm.
But anyway, no, I mean, I saw the way each channel, it's how to say it, each channel is an artistic project.
Yeah.
Each channel is an artwork in and of itself born out of the streamer. And that fascinates me. And so when I joke about, dank memes, it was actually the redeem system. I have a redeem system in my channel. It's about putting those sound bites and gifs and all of that together
Mhm.
to make funny content.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's actually when I first started streaming, I spent way too much time on that part and not enough time on upgrading equipment or doing all the other things I need to be doing.
Mhm.
Just because that was for me, it was fun. Um, and so what ultimately got me into streaming was, I think, this is a creative project. It taps into that creative side of me, and I want to see where I can go with it.
Okay.
That makes
Cool.
sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. So I always ask, a lot of the Twitch streamers, their goals in streaming. What are your goals for your Twitch stream, your channel, pretty much?
Well, okay. Uh, so I would separate that into maybe two types of goals: mechanical goals. My ideal viewership would be maybe getting 30 to 50 people in the channel chatting and talking and hanging out at one time.
Okay.
That is my mechanical goal.
Okay.
Meaning mechanical here, meaning like raw numbers. Like that is a number that I would love to see.
Okay.
Just because I think that is to me the awesome community size. I mean, I'm not bad mouthing larger communities or smaller communities. Rather, I'm just saying I think that's where I would feel comfortable. Um, but for me, there's another goal, and it's a far more difficult goal to navigate over time. Um, One of the things that I've found on Twitch is that it's a place for community. So this is something that I think I disagree with some other streamers about. Some streamers What do you actually do on Twitch? Do you just play games? I don't actually think the games are why a lot of people end up sticking around on Twitch. They might come, they might lurk even a little, they might hang out for a little bit, but the people who come consistently to Twitch, it seems like they're looking for something more. And in my experience, limited though it is, I would suspect that what people are oftentimes looking for is community.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for a communal space where they can enjoy the company of other people and they can enjoy the content that's being produced. Um, for me, an ideal goal is to create a communal space um, of genuine authenticity, and where people who don't fit in other places can find a place to fit in. Uh, so, for example, mental illness is a big thing for me,
Mm-hmm.
just in my personal experience and in my personal life. But it's also something that I've seen in a lot of other people. But in Twitch, there's not always a place to talk about those things, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot, and this is in no way an insult or an attack on other streamers who don't feel comfortable letting discussions of mental illness into their chat rooms. It's perfectly understandable why they don't. It's oftentimes a difficult subject to navigate. It's oftentimes emotionally draining to deal with those things. But I want people to have a place where if they just need to come vent, where if they just need to come be like, you know what, my life sucks today. I would ideally like for them to feel like my channel is a place where they can come do that. I don't even want to say my channel, our channel, right? Because there are
Mm-hmm.
going to be days when I'm having a bad day. There are going to be days when you or someone else is having a bad day. And I want this to be a place where um, people can feel safe to live an actual life, right? And not
Mm-hmm.
have to feel like they have to put on a face
Yeah.
and pretend to be something they're not. And that is not a mechanic. That's an amorphous goal. Like, how do I actually do that? I'm not sure yet. It's just an ongoing project.
Yeah. Well, first step to that is do you have like a mission statement that states that you want to
Oh,
keep that structure of a safe place in your channel, in your bio or anywhere in your website or anything like that?
no, you're totally right. I
Okay.
don't because
Okay.
I've never really formally spoken it actually
Okay.
until
Okay.
just now. So that's a
Okay.
good point. I'm
Perfect.
glad we're talking about
There,
this
we're
because
glad we're talking about this now.
yes,
So
it's good.
so
Yeah,
so, so now what you can do is now go to your Twitch channel and your about section. You can put a quick mission statement about what you are about,
sure.
and that way people come browse you and they do little what you did back in October 2018 and browse and then hit your channel, be like, oh, this guy knows what I'm talking about. We share the same things. And if they
Yeah,
read that in the about section, like how you found grandfather,
yeah.
boom, that's how you do it.
That's a
So
good
that's
point.
step one right there. So that's
Yep,
cool. So
yep, that's awesome.
let's going back to like Hunt Showdown here. So that is your main game, correct?
Correct. Yes.
And how many hours do you have in that game?
1,500 plus 150 hours on test. So almost 1,700 now.
1,700 hours. That's a lot of gameplay there. So when I asked this to other streamers too, when you play other games besides Hunt, does your viewership go down?
Yes,
Okay.
usually.
And
Um,
okay, and why do you play other games if Hunt is your main game?
so a couple of things. One, I think the reason the viewership goes down, I think that if I stuck to other games, my viewership would go back up. What it is I think when you play a game for so long, you've cultivated an audience that's only really interested in that game.
Uh huh.
And so when you switch, that audience goes away. But if you stuck around other games long enough, you would, I think, attract other people. It's just you'd have to climb that hill again. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's exactly that's
Um,
exactly what
and
happens. Yeah.
yeah, and I and if I had my way, I would pretty much only stream Hunt. The reason I started varying is because one, Hunt is an incredibly stressful game,
Hmm.
and I can get burnt out on it very
Okay.
easily
Okay.
if I force myself to play for too long.
Hmm.
Um, but also I want to start varying. I like to vary the stream just because I do think it opens doors, even if it doesn't increase your viewership. It increases. I want to say this. It increases the variation of the community. It makes your community more varied. it brings people in who might not already play Hunt Showdown, right? They'll see you playing Remnant from Ashes and be like, well, what do you normally play? Or let me go check out your YouTube. Oh, you've got a video on here about Hunt. Or let me go check out your Instagram. Oh, you've got clips about this other game. Let me go check that other game out. And it cross pollinates communities, and it
Mhm.
diversifies. And I think that's a good thing.
Okay, so talking about diversify, like how often are you posting clips on Instagram, putting videos on YouTube?
So only recent. So okay, I was bad about this for a long time, and then I got better.
Okay.
So I have now a social media content calendar.
Okay.
And what it is I post 1 to 2 things on different sites. So I have a Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube that are active. I actually just 2 hours ago posted another YouTube video today. Yesterday I posted an Instagram clip. Um, and tonight I'll be working on another video for YouTube,
Perfect.
which I'll probably post sometime Monday. I try to do one thing on social media a day at least.
Okay.
Um, so one of the things that I used to do in marketing is social media content.
Uh-huh.
Um, More than anything, consistency is key.
Thank you.
Um, Even if you don't like, so you don't have to pump out 40 blogs a week. You need to at least pump out one blog a week, and you need people to know I can rely on this person to have one blog a week, because they'll keep coming back to it in expectation. But if they come back to it even one time and it's not there and it should be there, there's the possibility that they'll just never come back, right? I mean, you need to have consistency, and so that's what I'm working on currently when it comes to social media is consistency. But honestly, if I'm being frank, social media has been a challenge. Sorry, I'm kind of getting off topic,
No,
but I
no, no.
mean,
Okay, well,
you know,
keep on.
well, social media and marketing and all of that has kind of been a challenge for Twitch in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a demographic that, for example, they don't like using Twitter, or they don't like using Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you reach this demographic on Twitch? How do you reach these people? Because you can't really do Discord anymore, because there's 45,000 Discord channels, and unless they're active in your channel constantly, you're not going to really reach them, right? Because Discord, they're going to get overload with all those notifications from all those different channels, and they're going to start muting servers, and then you have no way of knowing if you get through to them. And so honestly, social media is something for me that's it's an interesting challenge as I go forward. So anyway.
Yeah, that's it's funny. Like what you just said right there is everything what I always say to everyone, not just on the podcast, but just in Twitch general. Like when people hit me up and ask, "Hey, Lone, like what can I do to better my channel?" Things like that. Consistency on social media is very a big part.
Mm.
Like if you guys are watching this podcast for the first time and didn't watch my other ones, and you are a Twitch streamer, exactly what Eric said right there. Post something, have a schedule on the social media. Try to do it once a day. Once a day is really big. Doesn't matter what you have: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Grinder, whatever. Just use it. Use any platform you have to reach any audience, because just the mindset of a lot of Twitch streamers, they quit after 6 months because they get one or two viewers. Is
Mm-hmm.
because they just think, oh, I'm just gonna stream and I'll get people to come in. No, it's really hard, especially if you're playing a popular game like, Warzone or PUBG, or
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite, stuff like that. People gotta scroll down so far. But if you're playing a game, something like even like Hunt Showdown, even Hunt Showdown is not the biggest game, but it's somewhat in the mid size. They get anywhere from 4 to 8,000 players on consistent
Mm-hmm.
basis, and the Twitch channel there's about maybe 100 at most, at the most peak time. So if you have 100 channels, it's easy to scroll down maybe 4 or 5 pages, and then you're the last person there. Some people do come and want to interact with people. A lot of times there are viewers, like what Eric said, mental illness. People want some kind of attention. They want to talk to the streamer, to have someone to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
So Hunt Showdown might be one of the games that the person likes, but they want to have interaction. So they'll scroll down and they find the smaller streamers, and click into it. And one of the big things is that I always tell the streamers is that even though you have no viewers, you need to still start talking. you need to keep on
Mhm.
talking. Like if you have no one watching you, but you're still playing. Oh, I see a guy here. Even if you're playing solo, I see a guy over here. There's a butcher coming here. Oh, it's showing white. That means no one's around. Just talk,
Yep.
because if you just talk, someone might jump in and they'll, oh, this guy's it really interacted, and you interact with the chat, things like that. It will really help you out. And
Yep.
plus, even though you have no people chatting, you can actually make clips out of it. You can go back to your Twitch video VODs, and you show little clips of like what you did. It could make a quick tutorial on how you do certain things, and you do that. So if you make your Twitch streaming one of your elements you can use to clip things to make YouTube videos or TikToks or Instagram, things like that. That's why it's really good to do that. So that I always encourage people, especially the Twitch streamers that you guys are starting, just talk, and
Mhm.
especially if someone says hi in your chat, make sure you read your chat and say hi back. Because if you don't respond, like for me, if you don't respond within like 30 seconds of me, I usually just bounce. Like I would, like,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times, like I do jump around and check out, just random streamers and just interact with them, just see what they're about and stuff like that. That's what I do. And if they don't respond back to me and they're so focused, I know hunt can get really intense, but
Hmm.
if you watch some of the good streamers, they interact even though they're in really intense
Yep.
situation. Like grandfather does a great job.
Hmm.
He's in an intense situation. He'll look at his chat real quick and say, "Oh, hey, I saw that. I'll get back to you guys. Guys, I'm busy right now." But he at least acknowledges that, hey, he
Yep.
notices you, but
Yep.
he's at the point that he want to survive, and as a good streamer, that's something you work on. And I know
Hmm.
you have, like, in between times that when you are in an intense situation and you don't get to read chat, and that's understandable. But you do a good job still to interact and see the chat. You go back to it and you read what they said, so that's good. So that's something that I like about how you interact with your chat. And I like your chat too. It's weird, like how we all did come from Grandfather Apartment, but I don't know. It's like, even though there might be some of the same people, but you just get a different vibe in your channel. It's like every channel has its own little thing, but your channel is a little bit of
Sure.
different
Yeah.
vibe, and I sort of dig that. I like it. It's different and it's cool, and I like your little jokes that you make sometimes with other people you play with. So it's pretty fun. It's a good
I try to keep it light.
yeah, keep it light. It's fun.
Mhm.
So besides streaming or playing games, is there like any hobbies? I know you like to read a lot. Is there any things that you like to do off stream and your own social time that you have?
Sure. Well, honestly, Twitch is scratches my social itch, so I don't get out much.
Hmm.
Um, but I write poetry. And I do so semi-professionally. I used to do it more consistently, submitting to journals and stuff like that. But I write poetry, and I do freelance virtual assistant marketing work every now and again.
Okay.
But not like I used to. Um, Geez, what do I do aside from stream? I'm not
Loser.
so sure. Well, I lurk and network on Twitch channels, but that's still Twitch. Like, I mean, God, something grandfather. Grandfather does do a lot of great stuff. You bring him up and he does read his chat well. He also, one thing that he does so well is, as a streamer, one of the other things that you have to do is, just because you're not on camera, it doesn't mean you're not working. And I
Mhm.
mean that in multiple ways.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the ways is being in other streamers'
Yep.
channels,
Yep. For sure.
talking to them, communicating with them, getting your
Mhm.
presence known. And that's not just to help you, that's actually to help them. And the thing is, a lot of streamers, maybe not all of them, if they see you helping them, they'll be happy to help you.
Mhm.
um there's a kind of understood reciprocation there, but you got to be on the back end doing that.
Yeah.
You can't. And so honestly anymore, is there ever a time when I don't have somebody's Twitch channel? I'm trying to think. You're like, what do you do away from Twitch? And I'm like, there's a life now away from Twitch.
Do you
But
go
yeah,
out, do you go
no,
outside do you go outside your house at all?
yeah, I
Okay.
do go outside my house, just not as much as I used to. but but no.
Coronavirus.
Well, yes, definitely not as much as I used to now. But yeah, no, I mean, uh, dang. Other than play with my nephew and attend family functions, my grandmother's ill at the moment, so sometimes I take care of her. But no, honestly, other than Twitch, there's not much. God, I got to get out more. Thank you. This has been a very
Yeah.
informative podcast
Yeah.
for me.
I'm like Dr. Phil here, trying to get into your mind and release that. Hey, Eric, I want you to, since you write poems, recite a poem that you wrote right now. Go.
I can't recite a poem that I wrote, but I can recite a poem.
Oh, really?
Uh,
So you
Not
can
one that I
recite,
wrote.
so you can recite other poems, but not your own.
I can recite a poem I wrote when I was in high school, but I'm
Yeah,
not
do
that
it, do it, do it,
stupid.
do it, do it, do it,
No,
do it.
I'm not that stupid. And I can recite other poems, yes. So which do you want?
I want your original.
Oh God,
The
it's
people
so
never
hard
heard.
though.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
it's high school. Okay, all right, but it's high school, and
Content.
I was an emo kid, so all right. If in time our time should end, and we should one another send. No, hold on. I got this. It's been a while. If in time our time should end, and we should one another send to different places far and wide. No, see, Lone, you've made. God dang it! Now I've forgotten it. Oh my God.
The pressure is on.
I know, right? Like, wow. Um, Crap. Maybe I should recite one of those other poems that I know and claim it's mine.
No,
Um,
that's a copyright strike right there.
it's a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Dang it. Dang it. Um, okay. If in time our time should end and we should one another send to different places far and nigh, with different stars to shine our skies, know it was I loved you more in the parting than before. And that's it.
Okay, and
It
who,
was
who and who? Which girl was that for?
Which girl was that for? It would have been her name would have been Frances. A long time ago now.
Okay. There you go, Francis.
Long time
There you go,
ago now.
Francis. That's the love poem for you from Eric.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's right.
Usually I bleep out names, but this is a poem, so we'll keep that in there. Yeah.
I don't even know where she is.
Hey, you might never know. She
You
might
don't
cross
even.
across, and she'd be like, "Ooh, I know this guy Eric. He wrote that poem
That,
for me. I had a big crush on him too." Boom.
oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up. So any last words before we send you off?
No. Thank you. For doing this. This has been a lot of fun. And I hope we can do more stuff like this in the future because I know you'd mentioned something about maybe doing it with multiple streamers. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for having me, and I appreciate it. And yeah, thank you. It's been fun.
So for you guys to know, it was sort of pulling teeth to get him on because I tried to
Sorry.
message him. He'd be like, "Hey, when are you free?" He wouldn't respond back for like several days,
I know, I'm terrible at that.
and then
I'm
I'll message him again. Hey, following up. When do you have time? And this guy responds
See,
one thing, and then wait several more days. So it's been a long work to get this guy on this
but
podcast.
your last message was perfect though because
Okay.
it was forceful. It
You
was
know,
like, all right, when are we doing this specific time? I need that kind of structure.
you know
That was
what?
perfect.
Funny thing, Frost is the one who told me to say that. Frost was like, "You need to tell him
Yeah.
when to do it," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
I'll force him to do
And
that."
Frost was totally right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
because I am, and see, so, and I did watch the podcast with Grandfather, and I'll say this one last thing because this is a struggle I have as a streamer, and I think people don't always understand.
mhm,
Um, I'm a, it's like the hermit in Grandfather's name. I'm an introvert as well.
mhm,
Grandfather is better at playing his energy off socially than I am.
yeah,
When I'm off stream, I oftentimes go off the grid.
mhm,
Like, and so it's not that I'm ignoring people's messages, it's that I forget because I turn my brain off.
yeah.
So I apologize. Like, it certainly was nothing against you.
No, it's okay.
I'm glad that you pulled my teeth and said the Frost.
All right, so social media stuff. Twitch.tv/prof PROF_Amezy MEAMEZY.
Hmm.
Your Instagram, is it the same name?
Yep, everything's the same.
Twitter, same name with the underscore prof_Amezy.
Hmm.
Your Grinder, the same username.
I see what you did there.
Okay,
And
so
yes, it is.
so Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram. Those are the three main ones that you have, correct?
Twitter, Twitch,
Twitter,
YouTube, and
Twitch,
Instagram.
YouTube,
Yes.
and Instagram, and they're all the same names.
Yep. Yeah, all the
So
same names. Yep.
all the link description will be right below, guys. Make sure to check them out. Just give him a follow if you can. Check out his stream once in a while. He streams. Well, how often do you stream?
Well, I stream 40 hours a week. Wednesday, the schedule varies week to week, but you can find it actually on my website. In fact, that might be something else that you don't know about. I do have a website. I can link that to you if you'd like.
Yeah, send it on
Um,
Discord, and I'll put that
yeah.
website on the link below too. So he's a full-time streamer that I just recently found out. He's grinding it hard, trying to get you guys in there, communicate, chat. The people in the chat room are pretty awesome. So make sure you guys check this out. So all the links below. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll get you guys more out there. Peace out.